What weight would you give to residency requirements, language proficiency test, and citizenship nations? Can you elaborate in more detail the relationship between the current housing crisis and the failure of family formation?
Right now, life in Canada does not feel the way it used to. Rent is out of control, buying a home feels impossible. Hospital. Wait times keep getting longer, and even full-time work does not feel secure anymore. Canadians are asking the same question every day. How did we get here, and why does it feel like everything is under pressure at the same time? In this video, you're going to hear conversations that explain what is really happening behind these problems. You'll hear why housing is so tight, why services are stretched, and why families are delaying major life decisions. This is not about blame. It's about understanding what is changing in Canada and why it matters to your daily life. Watch closely, because once you hear what's being said, you'll start to connect the dots in a way most people never do.
You highlighted that the strongest predator of flourishing are stable families, marriage, religious participation, meaningful work, and strong communities. Leading up to that, do you agree that our national level of immigration should be tied to housing, healthcare, and job considerations in tying all that together?
Do you think Canada can handle immigration without matching real capacity? This question focuses on whether Canada is setting immigration levels based on real facts like housing, healthcare, and jobs, or if numbers are decided without checking system limits. The speaker links strong families, work, and communities to national policy and questions if immigration is growing faster than Canada can support. For Canadians, this matters because when systems are pushed too hard, daily life becomes more difficult and unstable. Key points describe the situation. 1. When population grows faster than housing, rent and home prices go up. 2. Healthcare services become overloaded, increasing wait times. 3. Job competition increases, affecting workers and youth. 4. Communities feel strain instead of long-term security.
I do think that our annual immigration plan should be informed by information such as housing completions, rental rates in major metropolitan areas, things like social service availability, how available are healthcare services, and what have you in in areas where immigrants want to migrate.
Is it possible for housing and healthcare to keep up with immigration? This question highlights whether Canada is using real data like housing supply, rent levels, and healthcare availability before setting immigration targets. In this part of the video, the speaker explains that immigration plans should be informed by how many homes are being built, how high rents are in major cities, and whether social and health services can handle more people. For Canadians, this is important because when population grows faster than services, quality of life drops for everyone living in the country. Key points describe the situation. 1. Housing supply not keeping up leads to higher rent and overcrowded living. 2. Healthcare systems face more pressure and longer wait times. 3. Major cities feel the strain first where most immigrants settle. 4. Lack of data-driven planning creates long-term social problems.
I think these sort of things would establish a baseline and then trends that could help inform levels planning.
Do you think traditions and integration still matter in Canada? This question focuses on whether residency requirements, language skills, and citizenship knowledge are important for immigrant integration and social cohesion. In this part of the video, the speaker discusses that strong families, community connections, and cultural traditions support a stable society. For Canadians, this matters because when integration is weak, daily life becomes harder, trust declines, and communities feel fragmented. Key points describe the situation. 1. Language skills. Help newcomers access better jobs and integrate faster. 2. Residency requirements. Encourage long-term commitment to Canada. 3. citizenship knowledge builds shared understanding of rights and responsibilities. 4. Weak integration can lead to isolation and social division.
You also wrote that the flourishing requirements commitment to people, place, and tradition. So again, in terms of that of traditions, what weight would you give to residency requirements, language proficiency test, and citizenship tests?
Is Canada losing the balance in its immigration system? This question looks at whether immigration policy has shifted too far, affecting economy, culture, and social stability. In this part of the video, the speaker says that current priorities may be off balance and Canada needs to reflect and aim for greater stability. For Canadians, this matters because when systems are imbalanced, daily life feels strained, costs rise, and communities face pressure. Key points describe the situation. 1. Overemphasis on numbers can create long-term instability. 2. Balanced planning supports both economic growth and social trust. 3. Ignoring warning signs leads to future crises. 4. Careful adjustment now prevents harsher corrections later.
I think more weight should be given to them. I'm not going to come out with a number here, but I think very clearly we're in a situation right now where the balance lies away from those things, and I think we need a greater balance. So that's what we should be aiming for here. We should study the matter further and reflect upon that and aim to stress these things to right the balance.
Could the housing crisis be destroying family life in Canada? This question focuses on how housing shortage and high costs are impacting families and community stability across Canada. In this part of the video, the speaker explains that when people can't afford homes, they delay marriage and children, affecting both personal and social life. For Canadians, this matters because family formation is a key part of culture, community, and long-term economic health. Key points describe the situation. 1. High housing costs discourage families from settling and having children. 2. Financial pressure increases stress and affects mental health. 3. Communities become weaker when families cannot establish roots. 4. Housing policy directly shapes Canada's demographic future.
And you end off with the article stressing that both policy and culture should cultivate dependencies rightly ordered to family, community, and nation. Can you elaborate in more detail the relationship between the current housing crisis and the failure of family formation?
Is Canada's low birth rate creating big problems for everyone? This question looks at how housing, immigration, and family planning are linked to Canada's historically low fertility rate. In this part of the video, the speaker points out that many families struggle to secure housing, which delays having children and impacts society. For Canadians, this matters because a low birth rate can lead to labor shortages, higher taxes, and pressure on social services in the future. Key points describe the situation when housing affordability directly affects decisions to have children. 2. Low fertility rates threaten long-term economic stability. 3. Immigration alone cannot replace strong family formation. 4. Balanced planning must support existing families and newcomers.
Certainly a factor cited that the inability to secure housing is one factor among many that is deterring family formation, and we have an all-time low fertility rate. It's something that has economic, cultural, and social consequences. We need to be mindful of these sorts of things and not neglect kind of the struggles of some of the domestic population in our immigration planning.
Could immigration affect Canadian values? This question focuses on whether newcomers could influence Canada's culture and shared norms, or if the impact depends on support and integration. In this part of the video, the speaker explains that the effect on values depends on the pace of immigration, the number of people arriving, and the supports provided for integration. For Canadians, this matters because proper support ensures newcomers can successfully adapt while maintaining social cohesion. Key points describe the situation. 1. Rapid immigration without support can strain communities. 2. Strong integration support helps newcomers adopt shared norms. 3. Social cohesion relies on fair and predictable rules. 4. Trust between Canadians and newcomers is built through planned integration.
If immigrants and others coming into the country, would they actually lead to any kind of dilution of our Canadian values?
I think it really depends on a number of things. It's about pace, it's about the scale, and it's about the stress on integration and also the supports provided.
Is social trust in Canada being eroded? This question looks at how fairness, rule of law, and shared responsibility affect trust among Canadians. In this part of the video, the speaker explains that trust is influenced by how people perceive rules, whether systems are fair, and if burdens are shared equally. For Canadians, this matters because when trust declines, communities feel divided and daily life becomes more stressful. Key points describe the situation. 1. Consistent rule enforcement builds confidence. 2. Perceived unfairness damages social cohesion. 3. Shared burdens increase public support for policies. 4. Strong trust is essential for long-term stability.
And I think the extent to which trust is improved or decreases is a result of many factors. Some of the other big influences on social trust are rule of law, adherence to the rule of law, its predictability and consistency, the degree to which people believe burdens are shared reasonably and systems aren't being exploited.
How are Canadians affected by immigration system challenges? This question focuses on how perceptions and realities of the immigration system impact daily life, jobs, housing, and community trust. In this part of the video, the speakers highlight that every Canadian is affected when systems are stretched, perceptions of fairness decline, and resources like housing and healthcare are pressured. For Canadians, this matters because it directly influences quality of life, economic stability, and community well-being. Key points describe the situation. 1. Immigration system strain can increase housing pressure and rent. 2. Healthcare and social services may become overloaded. 3. Job competition affects both newcomers and existing Canadians. 4. Perceptions of unfairness reduce trust in communities and government.
And both of those things, I think, are affected by Canadians' perceptions and the realities of various parts of the immigration system.
Thank you. Very short.
No, sorry,
question.
Mr. Ma. Thank you,
Okay.
Mr. Copeland. Thank you, Mr. Ma.
What you just heard shows that these issues are not distant or theoretical. They affect Canadians every day. Housing, healthcare, jobs, family formation, and social trust are all interconnected. If policy and planning do not balance these factors, everyone feels the impact, both existing citizens and newcomers. The big question remains: will Canada take action to restore balance, or will the pressure continue to grow? Comment below and share your thoughts, because this is an issue that touches every Canadian life.